Hello and welcome to English Learning. This is part 3 of the explanation of the lesson The Lioness. I have already provided the link of part 1 and 2 in the description box below. If you haven't watched those videos, kindly go to description and check out the link. And without wasting much time, let's begin. So far, I haven't received any of your comments with regards to any sorts of confusion or doubts. So I hope you have understood both part 1 and part 2 of the explanation. Now, let's continue with our reading and find out what happens next in the story. The lioness stalked among the fires, but she did not leave their circle unharmed. Only one man was prepared, only one was watchful, and he recalled his old wounds which he had sustained in battles long ago. He stood up, weighed his spear, and hurled it at the lioness. The spear pierced the darkness and sank into her hip. Then thunder crashed and wind rose up in the trees. Now what happens in the story is the lioness moved very carefully among the fires and destroyed their circle, but still there was a man who was all prepared to fight with the lioness. He was very watchful, meaning that he was staying very alert and careful, remembering his old wounds which he had suffered and sustained in battles long ago. And now he is again all set to have a fight, or we can say battle, with the lioness. He stood up, weighed or held his spear, and with great force he threw that spear at the lioness. And then the spear pierced into her hip. The lioness got injured in her hip, and then suddenly there was thunder and wind everywhere. With her last remaining strength, the lioness ran back among the fires. With her last remaining strength, she crept between the bushes, and on her belly, with the spear pierced into her right side, she dragged herself to her husband's hut. There she lay on the mat, her body half lioness, half woman. The enemy were overwhelmed, for though it is possible to stand against spears, and also not possible to withstand the blows of clubs. The lioness, gathering all her strength, ran back among the fires and crawled between the bushes on her belly. She was badly injured as the spear was pierced into her right side, so all she could do was to drag herself to her husband's hut. After reaching her husband's hut, she lay down on the mat with her body, which was half lioness and half woman. The enemy were overwhelmed as they were able to defeat the lioness. Overwhelmed means to defeat someone by force or to affect someone very strongly. Here in the story, we read that the enemy were able to hurt the lioness. She is now badly injured, isn't it? So, what this passage number 25 means is, for the enemy, it was way more possible to stand against spears, to face the spears, than to sustain or survive, or in simple words, let's say, face the blows of lioness clubs. I hope you all are getting my point. If you have any doubt, then do leave a comment with all your queries. So the enemy withdrew and abandoned their attack on their more prosperous neighbours. They withdrew, and all that remained of their camp were the burned out fires and the cries of orphaned children. All the women of the village went out for water, all ground millet in front of their husbands' huts. Only the lioness woman scratched at her wound with her weakened paw. and her son walked helplessly around her, not knowing how to help her. And on the fourth day, the husband left and went to see the witch doctor. Now, after defeating the lioness, the enemy pulled back and gave up their attack on the lioness village. The battle finally stopped, and all that remained at the end were the burnt out fires, orphaned children who were crying because they lost their parents. Now, all the women of the village went to fetch water to put out or extinguish the fire, and kept all ground millet in front of their husbands' hearths. The lioness, on the other hand, scratched at her wound with her weakened paw. Weakened here means having no strength. And her son walked helplessly around the lioness, absolutely clueless, not knowing what to do and how to help his mother, who is now badly injured. And on the fourth day, Lioness' husband left to see the witch doctor. Witch doctor means a person who have magical powers to cure illness. My wife is a lioness, he said to the witch doctor. As a lioness, she was wounded by a spear in her side, and now she cannot rise from her bed, and she will die. She is a good woman, and she brought my sons up well. See to it that she does not die. If your wife is a lioness, and if she was wounded as a lioness, then her life is escaping through her lioness veins. She does not have enough strength to live on as a lioness, but she certainly has enough strength to live on as a woman, said the witch doctor, and he lit 4 fires and beat on a wooden drum. So the husband goes to visit the witch doctor and tells him about his wife, that his wife is a lioness and how she got wounded by a spear, and now she cannot even rise or wake up or move from her bed, and he fears that she will die. He also tells the witch doctor that Lioness is a good woman who took care of his sons very well, and he requests him, that is the doctor, to look into the matter and make sure that she does not die. The witch doctor then says to the husband that if your wife is a lioness and was wounded as a lioness, then her life or spirit, or in simple words, soul, is escaping through her lioness veins, because she no longer have enough strength to live as a lioness, but she definitely has enough strength to live on as a woman. It means that the lioness can still live as a normal woman and not as a lioness. After her lioness soul escapes from her body, she will no longer have the strength of a lioness as she used to have earlier. And then he lighted 4 fires and began beating a wooden drum. Within 4 fires I hold a woman, the good woman of a brave man. Within 4 fires I hold a woman, with the drum I set the lioness free, chanted the witch doctor. And the spirits of life waged war in that woman with the spirits of death, and the spirits of death were defeated. 4 fires saved the soul of the woman, and the soul of the lioness departed, accompanied by the beating of a drum. Then the witch doctor chants some words such as, within 4 fires I hold a woman, the good woman of a brave man. Within 4 fires I hold a woman, with the drum I set the lioness free. After that, the spirits of life carried on war in that woman with the spirits of death, and the spirits of death were defeated. So in this story, this woman was possessed by lioness spirit, okay? And now, as the witch doctor chanted his mantras or magical words, What happened was there was a battle inside this woman's body, a battle between lioness spirit and woman's spirit, and the lioness spirit got defeated, and 4 fires saved the soul of the woman, and the soul of the lioness left the body, and then the soul of the lioness was accompanied by the beating of a drum. "She is a lioness, she is a lioness," sang the warriors of the tribe. "She is a lioness, and trees crack under the blow of her paws. She is a lioness, and the dry grass blazes at her breath. She is a lioness, and never was there one like her, and never will be again." But she was not a lioness, she was a woman, and the smell of cooking rose from her hearth. But her sons grew quickly, they hard-working and fruitful, and never again did that tribe know hunger. So the warriors of the tribe, what they did was they gave farewell or bid goodbye to the lioness soul by beating drum and praising the lioness by singing, "She is a lioness, she is a lioness, and trees crack under the blow of her paws. The dry grass blazes or shines at her breath. She is a lioness, and there was no one like her, and there will never be anyone like her again." Here the lioness is being described as a woman who was very loving, kind and caring towards her family, her children and her village. She was a woman who used to cook for her family, and the smell of cooking always came from her kitchen or hearth. Hearth means fireplace. You can see the image over here to have better understanding. Her sons grew quickly. They were very hardworking and fruitful, meaning that they were doing very great in their life. And even after the lioness' departure, no one in that tribe remained hungry or suffered from hunger. So this particular story we just read is an African folk tale. Folk tale means a traditional story passed from one generation to another by word of mouth. Please turn to the very first page of this lesson and read the introduction part. Here you can see 2 boys arguing. One of them is saying, "Sometimes animal spirits get into the human body," and the other boy is disagreeing with him. The story we just finished, that is the lioness, is about a woman who gets possessed by the spirit of a lioness. I don't know whether in reality it happens or not, whether animal spirits get into the human body, but I do have heard the stories of ghosts getting into human body. Have you ever heard any such stories? Do let me know in the comment section below. And also, if you have any doubts regarding this lesson, kindly leave your comments. And with this, we have come to the end of the video. I hope you understood the story, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.